Hey all, so I wanted to do a separate video to really talk to you about how to create your design specification sheet. So, some background on the design specification sheet. This is essentially, it's also called, or at least we called it design lead sheet. And it was the first page of the entire technical pack. So a developmental package would be sent out. That would be the first thing sent out to make your proto. So the very, very first piece of communication to your vendors, factories, to create a proto. So the very first sample. And it always contained three things. The design specification sheet, also known as the design lead sheet, the BOM, bill of material, again, that tells about all of the materials that are, all the materials, meaning all the raw materials, so all the fabric, trims, etc., in your garment. And then the third page is the specification sheet, the spec sheet with all the measurements. So, three very, very crucial and important items that are really the beginning of a technical pack. And then the more and more a garment is requested samples. So it goes from a proto to maybe a first fit, second fit, third fit, the jump size set, the TOP or top of production, any artwork that it goes with it, all that stuff just keeps getting added and added and added to the technical pack, where finally, once it's shipped, all the custom documentation, how it's to be packaged, all that good stuff is all in this technical pack. So it can become, this great amount of pages, and this is the first page. So, important thing to make. Usually 9 times out of 10, again, from my experience, the designer made this. And sometimes the tech designer, the designer would take the tech designer's flat sketch. Sometimes actually at Gap, when I first started, we still sketched the first on the design lead sheet, and then the spec sheet had the flat sketch. So just to give you some information, some definitely jargon that you would need to know. So this is like the template that I gave you. It's a crappy template. I mean, it gives you all the basics, but the actual what's filled in, yours will look so much better. And I'll just kind of give you some examples of it. So up here is like your logo. This is like a ridiculous logo that I made. So you can just go ahead and delete it. You can, put whatever date is. This is your date, the season that you're, that this one item, because you will pick one garment to, you'll create one garment that you will make a design lead sheet for. So you'll change the season, the theme, whatever the name of your collection is, the division. So actually the new one that I made, if you ever isolate like that, you just go back. So I'll just change the text. So I'm actually doing, toddler girls is the little one that I had. Product name, you can actually name it, or, a lot of times it's like the floral, or maybe I'll call it like the ruffle flounce dress. And, sometimes people, you can put a style number to it to make it look like really official. So you could do LM12. I don't know, I'm just making it up. And then you can make this bigger and hopefully it'll fit. So you might have to like fudge around with some of this stuff, but okay, so I got it to fit. And then the type of fabric. So I'm actually going to use, I'm still going to use 100% cotton. Poplin's a little thick, so I'm going to do a chambray is the fabrication I'm going to use. So 100% chambray for this full dress. So, and then you can essentially, you can delete everything all at once, but I'm going to just delete it a little bit one at a time. So the one thing is, and this is where I would do it on where you've been sketching and not on here, because The one bad thing about maybe using this template is when we do these measurements, you kind of like set an object's like measurement, and I'm afraid that when you use this template, it might make it wacky. So I'm actually going to show it to you on this, how to get the measurements, and then I'll show you how you can then just bring it in. So this is my front view and back view of my little toddler dress. I'm going to, just because I had this ungrouped, so I'm going to group it really quick. Group the front and the back, just making it easier to copy and paste and move around. Okay, so I need to, part of the requirement is to name some measurement points. And because I do want you guys to kind of get an idea of what measurements are, how big things are, how small things are, all that sort of thing. I want you to maybe get out some garments, use your tape measure, and measure things. You can always measure things on a body as well if you're trying to guess. And usually the design lead sheet would give like some main points of measurement. So body length, chest width, sleeve length, something like that. Something like that would be kind of like a major point of measurement. So here I have the body length, I have the sleeve length. So those are my two big ones. Okay, so I have now moved over to the sketch of my little toddler dress. So this is my front view, and this is my back view. So I need to get the, I need to essentially set a measurement that can help in the calculation of all other measurements. So I need to first define, I'm going to do the body length. I will say I always do the body length is what I set it as, because it's a nice big measurement. All garments have it, and it's a nice kind of, I guess it helps with the algorithm when it is like something like a body length instead of like giving them this teeny tiny little measurement here. At least that's what they told me. Don't ask me on math things. So here I'm going to do object. I'm going to define my scale. So I have my high point of shoulder I'm going to go from to the bottom hem. That is what the body length is. And so I click with the left and hold down and move all the way down my dress to the hem. And I unclick. And as you see, I kind of had defined it in like other things, but I'm going to do 20, and then I have to do the little like quotation marks. Now, let's say you were doing like a fraction, then you would do like 20 quotation marks and then 1.5, whatever the case is. But I'm just going to do 20 inches here, and I'm in inches fractions. And I push OK. So now I can do the measurement. Sorry, I had that already, but you just push the measurement. And you want to make sure that you use your, you have clicked the graphic representation. You want the arrow, you want the measurement, which is the dimensioning. And right now you can kind of ignore this, okay? This basically, just go ahead and ignore it. It's not a big deal. So what you'll do is, again, I will now put that body length measurement. So I will click the high point of shoulder with my left. I will hold it down as I come all the way down to the bottom hem. I unclick. And so, I mean, I probably was just a little off in where I, had, measured exactly. So that's where I get this 3 40th inches fraction. But let's say, okay, you know what? This is just off just a teeny tiny bit. I want it to be exactly 20 inches. All I have to do is come over here to my properties. And if your properties isn't open, you just do Windows, and make sure that's just your properties. And I can come in here in my measurement text, and I could just go ahead and delete this 3 40th, which is kind of nonsense. So I am going to delete that. I just want it to be 20 inches. And you can even, I think you can even delete this like fraction thing if it's kind of annoying. You got to know that that's what you're putting in. Yeah, you can. And you can just do inches. Then after you do that, then you can really do any other measurement now. So I'm going to do the chest. And it should just automatically, okay, it makes it make sense for, okay, if this is 20 inches, then their chest is going to be 6 inches. Again, this looks kind of funny, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete this 37th and 40th inch. I know it's kind of obnoxious, but, and I'm going to get rid of the fraction. So I can't remember on the rubric how many points of measurement I have you do, but you know, whatever the case is. And if you want to do, essentially, if this is going to be your body length, the same would really go for back here, so you don't have to worry about it. If I have two measurements here, it could get a little messy. So if I want to do a third or a fourth, and I want to do like the sleeve length, I might do one over here and do what the sleeve length is. Again, I'm going to come in here and just like clean up what this fraction thing looked like, because it's just obnoxious to me. And so 6 inches. So there you go. Then, what you can do, I'm going to go ahead and now, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get out of the measurement tool. I'm going to go into my direct select. I'm going to direct select all these pups. And I'm going to come in here and, I'm just going to delete. Oh, I don't want to, sorry. I'm going to just go ahead and delete all of these. I'm going to go ahead and keep the A and B and all that stuff, because that could help you out, and you can always delete it later. You can just kind of move it to the side if you want. And I'm just going to go ahead. You can just kind of delete everything I have in here. You actually don't even need to worry about this chart. You can just delete that. That was from kind of another rubric I had. And I'm going to go ahead and, sorry, can't remember if I control copy. And now you can control paste. No. I'm going to bring these ladies over here. And I'm going to go ahead. Do I not have the measurement? No, I don't. So let me group my measurement with this. So it kind of keeps it together. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of put the back here. And again, I'm going to group all these for me. Group them, and I'm just going to put the front view and back view. And you might want to actually make a text box to say like front view, back view. And so here's your measurements, and you know, you can scale them however you want them to make them just kind of fit nicely and make sense. You know, something like that. So there's for your measurement identification. You can then come back over here and, you know, you probably want to copy and paste it before you do the measurements. I probably didn't do the best order, but then you can bring this over into this, you know, this page. And then do kind of the same thing here where you have your front view and your back view. And so let's say for mine all is the same fabric. It's all really just A. So I might just put A here. Ooh. Let me send this to back. So, you know, you're going to have to do some like send to back and things like that. So, and you can use these arrows if you want and just kind of move them around. So that's A, and you could use this arrow if you wanted. And again, we'll just have to do some arranging. But you guys should know all this, kind of know all this. So here, fabric identification. And again, you can scale and make these all fit and look nice. You know, so A, so this will all be my 100% cotton cotton chambray. So I'll go ahead and, you know, change this. If I had any other fabrics I was using, I would call out those and then mark them. So maybe my trim was a different color, my little ruffles, or maybe my neckline is a different kind of fabrication, and I would go ahead and mark that. I'm going to have to tell you about the other stuff in the next video, so tune in to part 2.